So I was planning on taking a break from reviewing cards for the Phyrexia All Will Be One season, but I saw this card and I absolutely had to talk about it because I think it is very powerful. So Glissa Sunslayer is one of any color, 1 black and 1 green for a 3/3 legendary creature Phyrexian zombie elf. Pretty cool creature type. It has first strike and death touch. Also, when Glissa Sunslayer deals combat damage to a player, choose one. You can either draw a card and lose 1 life, destroy target enchantment, or remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. So first of all, first strike and death touch together is incredibly powerful because she will deal the damage first, and then the death touch is going to trigger killing that creature. So basically, unless the creature's indestructible or doing some really weird thing, she will instant kill any creature she is being blocked by or blocking. So let's say you play her, she will give you immediate blocking value because she is a very hard creature to attack into. And then when she's done blocking, she's a really great attacker because your opponent really doesn't want to block with anything that has value. If they can chump block this creature easily, she loses a lot of value. But if they have creatures that they want to keep alive, they will not want to block. And once they not block, you get all of these different abilities that you can use that can give you an insane amount of value. The first one is straight up gas, giving you card draw, and losing 1 life is really not that bad. It makes sure you don't run out of threats and you get more options with the more cards you have. So that is very powerful. The second ability is more of a niche ability, and the best cards it would hit would be Fable of the Mirror Breaker and Wedding Announcement. But the problem is both of those enchantments make a lot of creatures, which is really good for chump blocking the Glissa. So it's not as good as you would think. But also, Selesnya Enchantments is still a deck that you will see around. They do play a lot of creatures to chump block, like Spirited Companion, but if you hit them, you can actually do a lot of damage, maybe hitting a Naturalist or a Hallowed Haunting, so that could be pretty strong. But it's gonna come up less. And the last ability is actually pretty interesting because it can hit Planeswalkers, which I think is the strongest thing it does. There are also a lot of new cards that are coming up that use counters. There's a proliferate theme and there's also an oil theme, and this card hits both, which I think is really powerful. But there's also other drawbacks because this card comes into play and doesn't give you any immediate value. So if it does get immediately killed, it feels pretty bad. And also another problem is the colors. If you look at the decks that are out there, there are very few green black decks out there. There's basically only Jund Midrange and Jund Windgrace. So it doesn't really have a deck that it fits in great. A card we do have to talk about is Wandering Emperor. By the time you can attack with Glissa, they will have 4 mana. So they can play this -2, kill the Glissa. Glissa never gets the damage that she needs to be good, and then you're really sad. And Wandering Emperor is everywhere. The card is insanely powerful. But even with those facts, I think the card is very powerful on its own, and I really hope it sees play because it's a cool one. It's really cool. So that was for standard, and I wanted to talk a bit about modern. I think, sadly, this card is too slow, and because of one card specifically, and that card is Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt sees play in most of every deck that run red. It is everywhere. And if you Lightning Bolt this, you're paying 1 mana to kill a 3 mana spell. And that just sucks, especially when that spell doesn't give you any value of entering the battlefield. Also, Leyline Binding is also a really good way of killing it. There's a ton of ways of killing it efficiently. So sadly, I think this card just a bit too slow for mod. So that is all I have to say about this card. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, all the 4 people that have watched this. Please like and subscribe. It is very important at this time because I am a new channel and I'm just trying things out. So yeah, have a nice life.